Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Tim, and I'm going to go over something that I probably should have done in the very first video I showed you guys. This is the most important lesson I'm going to be covering. This is a very, very vital part of trading. Every trader knows this and needs to know this. And the magic words of this video are support and resistance, okay? Now, it may sound boring. In fact, it is very boring. You're looking where the candles are finding support. Like, for instance, you can find it right here. I'm going to take this magnet off. It makes it a little easier on me. But, oh man, I'm going to have to change it from white. Hold on. Change it to black. How about that? Alright, so you see how the support bounced off here, bounced off here, bounced off here. So that's how you find your support. Now, there's also instances where support and resistance flip back and forth, and that's very easy to find. And for instance, here I'll move this line right here. So you can see the candle bounced off of it right here. It bounced off of it here. It went under it, the wicks, but that doesn't matter. They closed on the support. So you could see how the support held. It even had issues right here. It slightly got over it though, but it really bounced off of it here. So it was support turned to resistance. And that's what happens to support. Support becomes resistance and vice versa. So a lot of times when you dip below it, you'll end up getting stuck right where you were bouncing off of it when you were on top. So uh, it's not rocket science, but it's something you need to know if you're going to be trading. This is a very, very important part of trading. You can see over here, it even support and resistance could last for years. You could go back and find an old support from 2017 and it's still active today. The $14,000 support. It's like if you were to draw a line from here all the way back, you could see why possibly have been resistance at this point. So, like I said, you can always use past support and resistance. Fibonacci's are a good way to establish. If you were to throw a fib on here, for instance, you'd be able to see there's probably a fib right here where this line is. And a lot of times that's how things work out. It's amazing. Trading is a artistic thing, in my opinion, and you can really get crazy with your charts. And but support and resistance is the same no matter what. You always try to figure out where is support, where is resistance, okay? And even it doesn't have to be a straight line. You know what? In fact, more often than not, it isn't. But there is straight lines. Like for instance, there's one down here where I originally drew this line. Here, I'm sorry, it won't work. There we go. Down here. So you can see where we were bouncing off. So that's another support, but it's just something that it's important for traders to understand how this works. Now let's go ahead and I'm going to shorten it up a little bit. And I'm going to go down here and show you where some support is more recent at least. Oh, this is a pain. Alright, so you can see we had some support right here, guys. You see it bounced off of it here, it bounced there even, and it really didn't get much of a bounce, just a little bit. And then we really dipped today. And everybody's talking about it right now, but that was support right at this area, and it just failed miserably today, so we dipped. And that's what happens whenever support fails. A lot of times you just bust through it and you fall a bit. And whenever support breaks, the longer it's been support, the deeper you're probably going to fall. It doesn't always work like that. Sometimes there's a cloud in the way. Sometimes there's an MA in the way. And MA can also provide support or resistance. And I'm going to show you an example of that. I'm sorry, this is the wrong. Alright, so let's go to moving average. And I'm going to change it to 50, which is the one I use all the time anyways, but I'm sorry, I'm going to change it to 200, only because I know there's some instance. That's what I want to talk about. I'm sorry, it's orange. I usually make the orange 50, but I'm going to use it for 200 right now. So you can tell there's some resistance right here. The candles could not get above it, and we failed. Hold on, get out of here. The candles failed, and we fell through. So I'm sorry that my little niece came to the door. The Anyways, the 200 MA was acting as resistance the whole time up here. So you can tell we just couldn't make it above it. And a lot of times when you try to penetrate a support or resistance numerous times and it fails, you end up falling because it's just like it's a reestablishment that you can't get through. You're failing. The Bears are going to win this, and it was a very clear indication when you're underneath some established 200 MA, 50 MA, you are almost guaranteed to fall. So I mean, not guaranteed. I'm sorry. You know it's bearish. Let me put it that way. I hate saying guaranteed. Guaranteed sounds so scammy to me nowadays. But going back, let me turn this to the 50 MA so I can show you another instance where it showed up as support and resistance, and it was really recent. I mean, not recent, but it was this year. You can see it was resistance here, support here. So you can see it really does work a lot, and you know what I mean. There's other things that can act as support. For instance, I want to show you another instance where you could draw a line going at an angle from. Let's say we're going to draw it right from here and go up to here. Well, I'm going to have to make it smaller. Hold on. I'm just going to park it there for a second. Bear with me, guys. Let's go ahead and draw it through here. And you know that, I mean, that's arbitrary places where I put it. I put it on this candle and this candle, but it shows you we got below it, bounced off here. It couldn't get above it, and you know what I mean? This isn't the best place to put it. There's probably some other places you could put it. Like, let's go ahead and try some other places like this. It's a pretty good way to do it. Where this is a good established support and resistance. We were support here, fell through. Got some support here, fell through, and you know it's in the resistance and support is in the eye of the beholder. But if it works, it works. I want to show you another example of where you can find support and resistance in numerous areas. You can go from here to here. All right, so that's showing you the support. It bounced off at least 3 times, almost 4 if this would have dipped a little more. And I'm going to draw it from here to here. Well, let me go ahead and get it closer. There we go. You know, it doesn't look perfect, but it doesn't have to. This is just for a practice thing. But you can see how we bounced off of this. This was resistance, and this was support for months. And we finally broke down through it, and then we ended up finding support down here. But that's what happens when the candles coil up. The resistance and support force it to do that. You could tell that's how you could find triangles and stuff like that on a chart, is by looking at the way support and resistance works. And support and resistance is just a great tool to help you learn to trade and help you learn what to look for on a chart. I mean, it's one of the most important things you can know. You know, the guy that trained me no, support and resistance is very important, and it does not have to be a flat line. Some people will tell you that. It's not true. Don't listen to them. It could be an angle. That's why there's fans. I did a video on the fan earlier, so if you want to see that, it's on the page. But like I said, it shows you that resistance and support does not have to be a straight line. So other than that, there's not much more I want to need to cover. I mean, let's go one more thing. Let me zoom out to the weekly. This is not going to be much. There's not much to this, but I just want to show you another tool that's good is when you're trying to draw a straight line, because a lot of times it can be a straight line. Horizontal ray. Now, if let's say you see the dotted line, what I'm doing. It's actually you can find that dotted line right where it crosses where you want the support line to be drawn. For instance, right here, and or right here, I would say. So I mean, it's a white line. I'm gonna have to change it. All my stuff's white because I usually have a black chart. But somebody told me that the white charts are easier to see in videos, so I went ahead and started using them. But like I said, if anybody wants me to start using black charts, leave it in the comments, and we'll look into it. But let me see. I mean, there's better examples of this, but like historical support and resistance, it's not always perfect. But like I said, you could find areas where the candles were finding support here. They bounced off of it. The wicks, we bounced this wick bounced off of it. I mean, there's numerous times where we barely got over it right here. And we walked along it the whole way here. I mean, you see how far back the support goes, and resistance, it goes back ages. So it's one of those things where you can learn a lot about charts by learning a lot about support and resistance. And another thing is, like, let's say you wanted to go, look, this is the all-time high right here, 20K. You can do that, and you can say, look, we're in a descending pattern right now. You see how we're making lower highs. So we went high, dipped, high. That was the high here, but it was lower. So we could be in a triangle formation. In fact, a lot of people think this is the formation, and this is another reason why support and resistance is so important. It's because you can plan out, hey, this we're gonna be in this formation for quite a while. You know what I mean? And you don't have to do it this way. But I've seen people make charts where they'd extend these all the way out, and you can see possibly where the coins or where the candles are going to bounce. And you can't tell the future. It very well may not work out that way, but it looks that way, and you just never know. It's one of those things where you want to look at all the possibilities. So this could be a big descending triangle right here, and descending triangles could go either way. But the only way you know that is by establishing where established support has shown its face and resistance. And by knowing how to find that, it's very important. And there's nothing to it. You just try to find where numerous points connect. Now this is only 2 points, so I'm not very excited about that. This is a better connection because look, we really rode it here for weeks. So I mean, like I said, there are some doubts sometimes, but you have to power through that and learn how to make these decisions wisely. And it's not as hard as it sounds. You just have to find. Look, this is a perfect example right here. I was trading this for months because I was sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, and you know what I mean. It was easy to do. That's a good pattern to trade, and knowing support and resistance is what that was all about. That's how I made my money, is understanding how it works. So other than that, I got a bunch of lines on my chart. It might be a little confusing. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section. I'm sorry for the interruption earlier, but I don't want to re-record this. So like I said, if you have any comments or any suggestions or requests, leave them in the comments, and I'll get to them. I'll make a video, whatever you guys want. I appreciate it, guys, and y'all have a good day, and keep on trading.